Hello. First of all, I apologize for this weird angle. We are sitting down right by my window, and this is where one of my dressers are. And immediately to my right, this is my plant stand. So you got a nice little view of both. Um, I am, I just wanted to get this vlog intro started just because I tend to forget. And I thought, why not do it now in the moment that I remember? So, hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Aspasia, and this is my YouTube channel, asparagusisreading, where I talk about books and sometimes other things. If you have not seen the title or the thumbnail of this, and you probably don't know, but just in case, you don't, I'm doing a reading vlog today for this book, Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. So you don't know this about, this is a book that really centers around this man named Owen Pick. Seems to be kind of like three different things going on at the same time. The first one is Owen Pick has been accused of sexual misconduct and I think harassment of a student, so he is currently suspended from his job. The second thing is his neighbors don't really like him. They're uncomfortable around him, they feel weird around him, and that kind of just increases when their teenage daughter swears that Owen Pick followed her home from a train station one day. And those neighbors also happen to be a physiotherapist and a child psychologist, which I feel like really is influencing how they feel about him just based off their education. They probably notice something about him that they're kind of like, I don't really like that. Which I think is going to be very interesting to read about, to kind of see how that plays into that relationship and the storyline. And then the third thing relating to Mr. Owen Pick is a patient has recently, she goes missing, and the very last person to see her is Mr. Owen Pick. So Mr. Owen just seems to be the center of it all, the center of all these female related crimes. And I'm like, sir, if you have done any of these things, you nasty and you need to go serve some time. But if he has not done these things, I want to know who and why he's being set up, and like how, because like if people are very certain it's him, are they being forced to say that, or is there someone that looks very close to him or something like that? I don't know. So yeah, this is what I'll be reading for this vlog. It's about, I'm gonna say like 350-ish pages. I don't know how long it's going to take me to read it. I am in school, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready for classes, and I'll see you in the next clip. Hi, hello, good morning. It is Saturday, September 17th. It is about 10:30 in the morning. I've been awake since 5 a.m. It feels weird because normally I end up taking like a small nap after 8, 9 o'clock. I've been awake this whole 5 hours. It feels weird. I don't know. I think maybe I just need to figure out like some kind of schedule, some kind of better routine to keep myself awake. Anyways, so today I originally planned to be my school day. I don't have classes between Friday and Monday, and so I usually spend those days kind of doing a variation of like fun things, bookish things, and then school things, sometimes even chores. And so today was going to be my school day, my chore day, because we were doing some other things around the house. Might not just make it a full day of that. Yeah, Canvas is down for me. I don't know if it's like the whole Canvas site, or maybe it's just my school, maybe my area. I don't really know. But I have tried to use Canvas on both my laptops using Microsoft, Firefox, Google Chrome, the Safari, and there's another one I cannot think, Microsoft Edge. There we go. It did not work. I tried on my phone. It kind of worked, but like the more things I clicked, it was like, it's not working. It's not letting me do anything. Like every time I open Chrome, it says this site can't be reached. Now it's saying internet error, which is false because I can watch TV and I can use any other website. So I can't turn in my assignments, I can't do my discussion posts, and I can't take my notes because all the PowerPoint's on Canvas. So I didn't see any information online about it being down, because normally in my school they will like post something like, oh, blank is down, we're working on fixing it. Nothing. So I'll just probably wait until tomorrow. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and switch my days around. So today is gonna be a bookish day. Since I can't do schoolwork, I'm going to go ahead and pop on some cartoons and get a couple chapters in this, and I'll give y'all an update when I make progress. So we ordered or requested these guys to come cut some trees like 3 weeks ago. They didn't show up because something happened, and so they rescheduled for today at 10 a.m. It is 1 p.m. and they just showed up. Good morning. It is Sunday, September 18th. I don't know what time it is. I have been in bed since I woke up this morning. I just had a really terrible migraine last night, and waking up today, I just felt exhausted, defeated, little energy to do anything at all. So I decided to just scroll TikTok, catch up on DMs and comments, read some webtoons. I had to edit my Amazon wish list because someone had asked for it and I hadn't gone through it in a while, so I cleared out that, changed that up a little bit, and I did some reading of Invisible Girl. Only read the prologue and chapter 1. I'm already like, the book sounds like it's set in the UK, which in my experience, reading books set in the UK or written by someone from the UK is very interesting. I tend not to understand their jokes or what the author's trying to do because it's not something I'm used to reading. And I don't really, I don't think I enjoy them as much as books written from people in the US. The first chapter is a lot of character info dumping. That's all that's happened. I just learned all these random information about this character that I honestly don't see having much importance. Like, oh, her mom is slightly Trinidadian. Okay. Are we gonna meet some kind of Trinidadian person later on, or are we just telling it just for fun? Like, I don't, okay. Second chapter is a completely different perspective. It seems like we're gonna have at least 3 point of views for each chapter. It's like one chapter is one person, next chapter is a different person, next chapter a different person. But there's also just some chapters, well, let me show you. It's like at the beginning of each chapter, it tells you the number and then the person's name. However, when I was flipping through, because I was nosy to see how many perspectives there are, some of the chapters do not identify the speaker in the heading. I'm trying to find one, like this one. So, I don't know if that's because the speaker is the same speaker as the previous chapter, or something is going to happen later on where we are not supposed to know yet. I've officially made it to chapter 11. The chapters are fairly short. I think I just read the longest one so far, which I like because I feel like I'm making a lot of progress, but at the same time, I feel like I'm getting nowhere because you're reading all these short chapters but you're still at the beginning of the book, in comparison to reading like a really long chapter and then reading like 10%. If that makes sense. I don't know. Anyways, I have theories because the way the book description describes it, everything centers around Owen Pick. As of right now, you have not officially met Owen, but you know of him. You know he exists. And as of right now, it seems centered on a different person. Like right now, we're focusing on this person in the 2-3 different perspectives. But Owen Pick is like slowly becoming more prominent in the book. And I wonder if that is done intentionally to kind of like fool you. I don't know, because like it feels, because like with thrillers, it normally with thrillers when it's too obvious, it's usually wrong, right? And so I feel like with the way that it's in the description throwing Owen at you, it feels too obvious that it was actually him. But now that it's throwing this other main character at me, it feels almost too obvious. And so I'm a little confused because I'm like, so who did what? But at the same time, I could see how this could work for the author and what potential connections that these could have. And so I'm having these different theories. So far, one of them looks pretty promising because some information that was revealed. However, I'm only 10 chapters in. This could really change very quickly. The writing is a little weird. There's one paragraph where Kate, she's a perspective that you read from, describes what she does. I'm trying to find it. It's like in the supermarket, she picks up avocados. She picks up stock cubes and salt in the rare moment of remembering to get stock cubes and salt. She picks up butter. She picks up chocolate-covered honeycomb. There's no one behind her. She does this. Then she gazes. Then she... Okay, I just feel like that paragraph is weird. Like, there's different paragraphs like that where it's like, she didn't, and then she, and she, and she, and she, and she... And some of those things that's being said in those sentences could have been made into a list. For example, the grocery. At the grocery store, she picked up this, this, and this. You have to do it. Each food item gets their own sentence. All the characters give me the ick. Again, don't know if that's intentional, if that's just because I just don't like them. Kate, honey, yikes. She did something a year ago, and I completely understand why she's reacting the way she is now, a year later, but also why the other characters react the way they are. But I also feel like she is justified in what she did. She just couldn't really validate it with proper reasoning and evidence. You have to read it to understand why. The husband, her husband, he's suspect, and that's just because of Kate is seeing him in such a suspicious light. And so I feel like that is making you suspicious of him because she's suspicious of him. The daughter, she's a spoiled brat teenager. Next, the son, you don't really see anything about him, which can be two things. A, fine and normal, just because, teenage boys, they kind of keep to themselves, mind his own business. B, this could be like those many books and thrillers where there's a certain character you only see 3 times in the book, they disappear, and then wham bam, they're like a big twist. Sapphire, seek help. Well, she got some. Get some more. Owen Pick, can we get more about you? Can I get your perspective? I'm waiting for that. I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll try to give y'all an update later. Update, I found something I don't like about this book, but I'm not entirely sure if it is a book thing or the author thing. That thing is, I don't like how they describe characters. There's also some fat phobia in here. So there's a character who is discussing a child, talking about curve only exists. Well, hold on, let me back up. Maisie's actually fat, though no doubt thinks of herself as curvy in the modern parlance. A curve only exists when the body goes in at the middle. Not as far as Owen concerned, not when it sticks out. You sound fat phobic to me, sir, but as you can see, I still look a hot mess. But I wanted to come on here and give an update. This book is making me uncomfortable. Again, character descriptions. Currently in the point of view of a grown 30-something-year-old man, and he is describing what his private parts look like. Not in like full detail, just saying like, oh, he doesn't think his is ugly and it's attracted to women and what happened, blah blah. I'm like, no offense, but I don't care. And I'm getting less interested in reading this book and just increasingly uncomfortable, which for thrillers can work because it's making you uncomfortable, suspense, and like on the edge while reading. But this is making me more like, ew, and not really like, I don't know. It's not in the good way where it's helping the book. It makes me just want to DNF it, burn it, and walk away. Okay, again, reading. Next problem. We already talked about this. I don't like how broken up the sentences are. Like, some of these could be combined. Tessie, his big mother's sister. His mother is dead. She died when Owen was 18. Owen's father lives in South London with his another wife and son. Owen lived with him for a month. A month after his mother died. Loneliest month of his life. Does this sound so choppy? You know what? I need to just turn off my English major editing brain and just read. I applaud the author for writing such a disgusting man and doing it so well. Well, men, plural, multiple men in here is trash. And not being afraid to be on this subject. But also, like, what? Now, so you know how earlier I said that there's really weird character descriptions and Owen might be fat phobic because of his comment? So here we are again. None of her photos show her body from the shoulders down, which suggests she's probably overweight. Why are you thinking about that? Like, why is it when you look at someone's photos, and that's what you're thinking about? Not like, oh, what is her interest? Oh, I like this, what she's doing. She's overweight. That's where your mind goes? And he's like, oh, but that's fine. Owen doesn't mind. Are you sure? Are you sure you don't mind? Because you've mentioned people's weight, including your own, multiple times during this book. And I think every single time it has not been in a positive light. Are you sure you don't mind, Mr. Owen Pig? Are you sure? You don't want to backtrack there right real quick? I apologize for interrupting my time lapse there. It is currently Monday at like 11 in the morning, I think. I have less than 100 pages left. I'm trying to finish it before I start doing my schoolwork and chores and stuff. Because typically in the mornings, I don't really want to do my schoolwork. I don't know. I feel like it's harder for me to start than it is later in the day. I don't know. Anyways, I'm on chapter 45 now. Just finished chapter 44. And so my first theory that was really promising is kind of falling apart. I think I was spot on with what was going to happen, but maybe incorrect characters and how it plays out. So I think I was getting there, but like needed to rearrange some things. But again, I still have quite a bit to go, so that could very easily change. So now my second theory, I don't know. It doesn't sound right to me, but that's where the book seems to be going. And so I wonder if that is true, or maybe it's going to be false, or maybe it's going to be a blend of this theory and something else. So far it's not looking too hot. Again, this book, I do not like a single male character in this book. The policeman, the neighbor, the main character, the son, the therapist, whoever it is, I have not liked them. I don't know if that's just because men in general give you the ick. I know many of you out there are wonderful people. But like, when I read about a straight white man who just is so angry that he can't get a girl, or he just has multiple affairs, or something else along those lines, I'm just like, ugh. And so this whole book, I'm just like, every single man that appears, I'm just like, ugh. But also, I think that could just be the author and how she's writing these characters and just making it to the point where you don't like them on purpose. Literally like 5 chapters later. Oh my gosh, is my theory correct? I want to like live vlog my reaction to the last, I don't even know how many pages, about 60 pages. That's a lot of vlog. I don't know. Something else I wanted to mention. I think the author does not like running because there has been multiple characters who have said something along the lines of, oh, my body's not built for running. Oh, yeah, I'm not the type of person to be a runner. Running is not my thing. Or they like see someone else who's like just jogging up the street and they just kind of like, when they see them. And so because it's multiple characters that think that, I don't know if that's a UK thing, like maybe they don't have a lot of runners, or the author just does not like running and has self-inserted that into multiple characters. Because here we are again, another conversation with these characters. I think it's at the 4th, maybe 5th person. Maybe my numbers could be off, but I know, yeah, at least 4 people now have mentioned this. I'm like, all right now, people like to run. It's not that serious. I knew it. Okay, so I officially finished reading Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. I don't know if I'm gonna rate it. Giving it any higher than 3 stars doesn't sound right, but also going any lower than 2 stars doesn't sound right. So maybe 2.5, 2.75, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, the last chunk, when the reveals was happening and people were starting to remember things, people started to actually talk, was more interesting. Like this first half, going to sleep. It was just very slow in the beginning. And it was a lot of setup and very slow, gradual suspicion, which I guess makes sense because usually in police investigations it tends to be slow, and then all of a sudden all the information comes in, so it speeds up. My theory was right. Not entirely. There was a portion that so there was one theory that I had when I was like in the first half, and then towards the end I didn't think it was working, but then something started coming true and I was like, okay, I got it, but I have some things mixed up. Now that I finished it, I was pretty close. But I thought it was interesting because when I was reading, I had this thought, because I think some of these clips talked about how the author had wrote so many men to be disgusting. And I didn't really take that thought and expand on it and see how that could play into the book. I don't think I really did. And so to get to the ending and to find out what happened, and then also the extra information afterward doesn't make sense. Men are trash, and it literally tells you that the entirety of the book. As you can see, I did not like them. Yeah, I don't know. It was, I don't know, what more can I say? I think if you like domestic thrillers, I would consider this domestic thriller. It follows a lot of family relationships and stuff. Maybe not pick this one up. I don't think this is the best one out there. I'm not a thriller expert, so maybe someone else will fight me on that. I don't think this is the best one. There has been some other ones, at least thrillers in general, that I've enjoyed a lot more. This is also my first Lisa Jewell, so there's a possibility that she has written significantly better ones. I am glad I read this because I haven't read any thrillers in a while. I'm now in a spooky mood. I know if I should read more of their books moving forward. With that being said, I'm gonna have to take into consideration that this is a UK author and that their writing style and their jokes and things is very different than what I'm used to, and so it may not have the same impact or the same meaning or anything like that. for example, the character descriptions were very weird to me. I felt like they were very weird. I did see how some of those descriptions were coming into play later on, and how certain things mentioned in the beginning were brought up later on because a different character would see it. But it was also just still felt like info dumping sometimes at places where it didn't really feel necessary. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was very interesting. I think this is a good book to have that conversation about men, typically straight white cisgender men, and their, I'm trying to think of a word, I don't know, belief, I guess, that they can have any woman. This does not apply to all straight white cisgender men, but like how many men seem to think that women are owed to them, women are a prize. They don't see a person, they see women, and how they often treat them. Like, I think this could start a conversation. Did this book do well with the conversation? Okay. The mental health representation was, and obviously I'm not a therapist. I don't know anything about some of these disorders and things that were discussed in this book. I feel like, at least I think that Sapphire's reputation was okay, but I'm not sure if it was the most accurate. Like, it made sense when it was explained why she did what she was doing. I'm not sure if it was the most accurate. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what else to talk about. How do you review books? As you know, I don't really do that. If I remember correctly, Lisa Jewell recently came out with a book that was a sequel to a different book. It was not this, but I am going to look and see if there's anything written that may be connected to this. Just because I'm curious to see, like, what happens after. I mean, at the end of this, there's kind of like a, oh, this is what happened after the case. But then there's stuff revealed in those chapters. So I'm like, okay, so what happened after that? I don't know if that's ever gonna be expanded upon, but I don't know. Yeah, so I read this in what, 2 days-ish? Ta-da! So, with that being said, I think that is all I have for this vlog, all that I have for this video. If you have read this, let me know your thoughts down below. If not, let me know if you like this video and if I should do more vlogs for certain books. Drop a, I don't even know what kind of emoji. Drop a rose emoji. You could do the pretty one or the one that like is dying. And yeah, have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever time it is where you are. And I'll see you in the next one.